Hey everybody, what's up? So while the Eclipse is dead because I recently blew up the turbo, I've been driving the Bug around, just daily driving it to work every day, which is about 30 miles. A couple little things that needed to get done. I just swapped the tranny. There's going to be a video on my main channel about that. But one of the things that's been annoying me is the shifter. Just where it sits. It's so far forward that I have to lean forward to get it into either first or third, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so first thing that you're going to notice here is the shift knob on this is actually from a 1G DSM. They are lovingly known as a horsecock shifter. No idea why. But the problem is, putting it into first gear is all the way down here. So typically I'm driving like this, and I literally can't reach it when it's all the way in first or in third gear. Like I have to actually lean forward to get it in gear and then come back. And then second and fourth are even still quite a bit of a reach. So I'm always constantly leaning back and forward, and when you're driving 30 miles it gets kind of annoying. So what I'm gonna do is pop this out and put a couple bends in it and hopefully bring it back closer to me, basically for zero budget. So let's give it a shot. First thing we need to do is just pop out these two 13mm nuts or bolts. Good idea to mark those because you can slide this shift plate around, and if you slide it around too much, it can mess up the way that you're shifting. You can start grinding gears and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So mark those first if you want. I'm not going to bother. And then take the stick out. And I like to cheat, so I'll do this. And then your shift plate falls out. Pay attention to where your shift plate is at it as well. Again, you don't want to lose that or lose the position. But now, we got that out, and let's go ahead and try to put some bends in it. Oh, and you might be noticing that there's no seat here. That is because I'm currently putting in new seats. So if you're watching this channel, that's a sneak peek. Alright, so here's our lever. It has a spring on the bottom that should be nice and greased up. You can pull that off, so just take that off and set it aside. This could come off if I can get this handle off. Don't know how well that was twisted on there. I think it was pretty good. But I think I might just leave it on because the bends I want to make are up there. I better take it off because that's going to burn. Alright, so let's grab a vice grip and take that off. Oh yeah, that wasn't bad at all. So when I got this car, it had a broken shift knob on it, and it had been JB welded on. I actually had to get the grinder out to cut it off. But I ended up saving the threads. So, and I had this extra shift knob lying around, and I was like, why not? Better than nothing. There we go. You can actually see on these threads, if I can get to focus, where I just about got into the threads on that little line right there with the grinder or the cutoff wheel, because it was just so nasty in there. But threads still work, so we're fine. And yeah, you'll definitely want to do that because to bend this, you're going to be getting it really hot, and so you're going to want the rubber boot off of there. And so the bends that I want to make, make sure we're focused, probably here backwards, and then up here forwards to give it like a little L curve, I guess, Z curve, I don't know what you call it. I might try clean some grease off of this part just so it doesn't burn as much. Yes, I'm pretty good at polishing shafts, shut up. Alright, clean enough. So let's go ahead and bench vice it. Can we see? No, we can't see. My bench vice is on the floor because I'm not quite moved in yet. Let's just clamp that down. And if I stick a cheater pipe on this, I should be able to bend it. We are going to get it hot first though. hopefully make it a little easier. Plus, I like playing with fire. Good work. Yep. Should be plenty of leverage. Torch, find some fire. And who doesn't like playing with fire? You see that? Yep. So the JB weld that's stuck down in the middle is starting to burn and smoke. That's pretty gross. Alright, let's go ahead and assume that's pretty hot. As you can see from the smoke, and we'll try to get this a bit and hopefully not kill myself. Ooh. Oh, that's hollow. Oh, that's probably not going to bend at all. Yeah, I just realized that this thing is hollow, and wow, that's probably not going to bend. And I should probably be wearing safety glasses. So I'm going to try to heat it up a lot and see if it will, but I'm thinking this probably isn't going to work. Some interesting smoke colors coming out of here. Now I'm going to get safety glasses on before I lose my eyes. Just another minute and try to bend it again. Let's try it. Oh yeah, we're bending. Alright, so nice and hot's the key. I'm going to do this for another minute. I'm also going to be bending just a little bit at a time, hopefully to keep the metal from tearing. So if I put just a little bit of stress on it at a time, bend it, heat it up, bend it, heat it up, bend it, heat it up, I should be able to make a pretty big bend without messing everything up totally. Ooh, she's glowing red. Let's give it another bend. Pretty good. Give it one more. Alright, I'm not sure if that's showing up on camera very well. It's actually starting to glow again. Just a little bit. So I'm going to try, give it another little bend here. There we go. Nice. Nice. We're going to go one more. Oh, and one thing that you don't want to do, even though it sounds cool and it looks cool, is dunk this in water when you're done. The reason for that, it'll make the steel brittle by flash cooling it. So when you're done making your bend, just walk away for an hour, half hour, whatever, and just let it cool down by itself. Otherwise, you'll make the steel brittle. Alright, we're starting to glow again just a little bit. Try to give it another little bend here. There we go. And I think that'll be good. I'm going to call that, let's see it better that way. I'm going to call that enough, and then what I'm going to do is bend it back up so we have a nice little S-curve in it. But before I do that, I'm going to let it cool down. So I'm going to go take about an hour break, get a little food, and we'll come back. Alright, it's been a while, so let's see if this is still hot. No, we're good. It's only been about half hour, 40 minutes. Probably cooled off long before then. There we go. So now we're going to bend this part back up. I also want to make sure that you're straight, otherwise you're going to end up with a wonky bend. Yeah, it's starting to glow. It smells awful, by the way. Oh yeah, that's better. It just needs to be really, 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 really hot. And I might actually have to bend it with the heat on, because it does cool down fast. Oh yeah. talking. And again, tons of heat and little bends is the key here. It'll keep you from stressing or tearing the metal, and should be just as sturdy as it always was. And you'll know when you get it hot enough, because I'm not really putting a ton of torque into this. I'm not, putting my body weight into it or anything. It's just a matter of light pressure. I would say 15 to 20 foot-pounds is what it would feel like on a torque wrench. Not very much at all. And if it doesn't move with that, get it hotter. You don't really need to pull that hard when it's nice and hot. And I'm only going to be bending this far enough so it's exactly parallel with the bottom piece. So we're just about there. Is it actually hotter like this? I think it might be. I might have been doing that wrong. It actually looks like it's heating up faster when I have this farther away. So, up to you. That might be about good, actually. I think that's about right on. Maybe just a hair more. Yeah, just a hair. And I actually think that I was probably using the torch wrong because it seems to heat up faster when I'm at the end of it rather than right up against it. Maybe not. Who knows? Actually, I bet one of you knows. If any of you have any insight on the fastest way to heat something up with a propane torch, whether it's like this or like this, let me know in the comments. Yeah, this actually seems quite a bit faster to me. Yeah, call that good. Alright, this thing is cool enough to handle, so let's go ahead and slap it back in the bug. Awesome DSM shift knob. Just like that. Looks pretty good. And I'm not even going to bother painting it because I like the way the paint looks after I burned it off. Alright, I double checked with the internets, and they say just make sure it's centered as best as possible, and then snug it down, and then try all the gears. And then if you're having a problem with this specific gear, put it in that gear and then snug it down. But they said just go ahead and line everything up, snug it down, and then try all the gears. So this looks about dead center to me. Try out the gears. Yeah, actually that worked out really well. So there's the reverse. Yep, that feels pretty good. Centering it seemed to work best, so we'll go ahead and give those a little snug. Yeah, so centering this seemed to work best. And this is great now because now I'm sitting all the way back and I can still get it into first gear without having to lean forward. Second, third, fourth, so much better. Because before, I literally had to lean forward to get it into first. And that seems a lot better. We're going to go ahead and call that done. Alright, so that'll do it. If you guys have any questions, just post them up in the comments. And if you have any suggestions on the best way to heat something up with a torch, let me know in the comments as well. I'm not sure if I was supposed to be right up next to it or leave a little bit of space. A little bit of space seemed to work better. But let me know in the comments there as well. If you guys like car videos, make sure to head over to my main page, which is Velocity Labs. I'm going to be doing tons of videos there as well. So see you guys next time.